Cut it. We can't, Rona, we can't react to that video.
Can't react to that video?
No.
Let's go. Tell her how it is and make a phone for the softman. This is how I live till they end up in my coffin.
All right, guys, welcome back to Red Top Report. I'm your host, Joe Enders, and we're going to be reacting to the Whatever podcast today. Is that what it's called? Red Whatever podcast?
Yeah, man, that's what it is. It's
All right.
been trending recently, so let's get right into it.
Let's talk about it.
Would you describe yourself as a feminist?
Yes.
Do you believe in gender equality?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so how do you reconcile believing in gender equality, but also holding men to their traditional gender roles of paying for the first date?
Well, I'm just saying that's my personal view. A woman being a feminist is just doing whatever you want to do and not being bashed by society for that. And obviously standing up for like women's like rights and stuff like that. But I don't know, I just feel like this question's really dense.
My question is, if you believe in gender equality, don't you think you ought to split the bill on the first date?
No, because my main concern with gender equality is through like, yes, in society, like fixing that and through like the system. But yeah, I don't, oh my God.
Yo, that like fell apart quick. She just like, what? First of all, will you freaking put some clothes on, lady?
Oh, for Allah's sake, put some clothes on.
Will you put some clothes on, please? Good grief. I mean, like, why do people think that they can dress in public with their breasts hanging out or with stuff like that? I mean, you know, what if men did that? Nobody wants to see that, people. Nobody wants to see that. I shouldn't say nobody wants to see that, but nobody should be seeing that. That's very scandalous to people. And I already know Ronan's going to have it censored, so nobody has to look at it. It's all good, this, that, and the other. But this just builds on this bigger problem where it's just like these women want to be treated like ladies and princesses.
You're not a princess. Your father lied to you.
Because they believe they're ladies and princesses while not actually being ladies and princesses. This is the dividing line that feminism has created. You know, you have one woman that you have the woman that wants to be able to go out into the world and be a career and do everything that men can do and this, that, and the other. Yet, you know, when it comes to, oh, do you want anybody holding the door for you anymore? Do you want anybody buying you dinner on the first date? Oh no, you still want to be treated like a lady. You just want to be able to also do everything that you want. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. Men do not find women that are into having illustrious careers and into leading the family and co-relationships. We're all equals, this, that, and the other. No. That is all counter-Catholic. That's all feminism intruding on the family and trying to destroy it for what it's supposed to be, a patriarchal institution led by the husband or father. That is what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. I think is there anything else you would add to that, Ron? I think that's pretty much it.
So do you split the bill or no?
No, yeah, you do. Here's the thing. You only go out with somebody that's worth the time, right? So all you women out there that think that you can believe these things, honestly, I would advocate for all young men to stop giving these women dates. Only go out with women that respect their femininity, that aren't trying to step in your place and take over your leadership role as the leader of the family. Don't go out with women like that. Because then maybe they'll realize that unless I want to be alone, I'm going to be a woman. I'm going to be a woman, and I'm going to be proud of a woman. I'm going to embrace my femininity because we love women on Red Top Report. And when women love being women, that's women at their best.
That's based on Red Pilled.
Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay.
Oh yeah.
You really just want me to just rip you a fucking new one. I swear to God.
Are you like,
Chase,
Yeah.
how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually. What the fuck do you mean? Yes, that was
because
so
if I had
unnecessary.
sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that.
The question is,
That's not what you said, though. That's fine. If that's
Because
what you
I'd
want
be
to say.
gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
And I don't
gay.
even care if you're doing this for like whatever, but like shut the up. Actually,
I'm doing
You
it
look
for
like
what-
you have a
Hey,
lead
why-
respect
why don't-
his
why don't-
street
That's too far.
identity.
That's
Why don't
too
you? Why don't you make me
That's
shut
too
the up? Because I have an opinion that differs from yours.
What the heck is going on? Was she gonna fight him or something?
She's right. I mean, that's really
But
hateful,
she's not. She's not. It would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me. It's true.
Dude, that's mean. I also gotta go.
It's not f***ed up. It's real.
That's
It's
his-
true.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys want to
It's
respect
factual.
gender identities, that's his though. That's his sexuality.
Any opinions you want, but
I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that.
Yes, from a biological woman who doesn't even have any trans friends, that was too fucking far.
What?
A man of God who doesn't judge a Christian, yeah.
Yeah, you know what God said? It said He made them man and women. He made them man and woman. I just told you I'm not gay. I'll pass on that. Thanks, though.
Just look at the smile at the end. What a Chad.
Who knew that stating biological facts would make people walk off the show?
He was unrelenting. He was unrelenting. Yeah, that was some masculine energy. Now that said, the question obviously isn't appropriate. There's no smashing should be being done. You know, you get married and you have marital relations with your wife and only your wife, guys. And obviously if you're a woman, only your husband, ladies. So everybody so that's obviously let's ignore the question. The question's degenerate, right? That said, that guy had the perfect response to that person. And she brought up Christianity. She brought up Christianity. Like, of all the things you could possibly bring up, you're supposed to love everybody. So I have to be willing to have sex with everybody?
No.
No. This is, where do they get these thoughts? Like they get in these emotional tizzies, you know, these leftists and these woke people. They get in these emotional tizzies and they lose complete control of everything because they realize that the worldview has been challenged in a way that can't really be countered because it's natural. It's the natural law. And they short circuit. I mean, this is the second instance of this happening on this podcast. It's just absolutely hilarious. They just deconstruct. There's nothing left because their worldview was literally shattered by nature and the actual understanding of their real emotions, not the emotions they're told to feel by their, woke teachers and CRT purveyors and all the other nonsense that they grew up learning. They're all fools now, basically. They're all idiots. What do we got next?
Next, we have a word from our sponsor.
Church Militant Store is your one-stop shop for all things Catholic. Our store of curated Catholic goods has something for everyone. If you're looking for DVDs, you can get the entire series of our flagship show, like The One True Faith. Love The One True Faith. Looking for a new book? Church Militant Store has a carefully selected collection of some of the best reads to better your faith life. Looking for a faith-based gift for a family or friend? We sell rosaries made by monks and scented bar soap made by nuns. You can find what you need and more at the ChurchMilitant.shop. I'm sorry, at ChurchMilitant.shop. So go there, get some cool stuff. We have some cool statues too. We got statues of St. Michael and the Virgin Mary as well. I mean, I definitely recommend it, guys. Do it.
Men are subject to military conscription. They're subject to the draft. So if there's a war, men are forced to go and die and be in the trenches and get chemical.
So are women. Women can get drafted.
Women cannot get drafted.
Yeah, they can.
You think women can get drafted?
I don't know, honestly. But
I don't think
when we have in
there's-
Vietnam, I don't know.
Women were not drafted in Vietnam.
I know.
Okay, but the thing is,
Is that it?
Yeah, like she thinks women were drafted
She
in
thought
Vietnam.
women were drafted to go fight in Vietnam. Yeah, that's right, dude. We can start playing like the Creedence Clearwater Revival, and everybody's going wild. And we have like the Dixie Chicks riding on a Black Hawk helicopter being dropped into Viet Cong territory. That never happened. That never happened, guys. That's not real. No, we don't send our women to war. We love women. We cherish women. They're special to us, near and dear to our hearts. And we would never do something so atrocious as to strap a gun to their back and tell them to go die. That's what men are do. We're built for it. We're tough. We'll take the sacrifice. We're willing to sacrifice. That's what we do. We're the soldiers. We're the warriors. We're the heads. We will lay down our lives for our women. That's what being a man is. And being a man also means protecting women and providing for women. So yeah, we're going to protect you from going and getting shot by people. No, people don't even think about the ramifications of what would happen if we were to let women get drafted. What a horrible idea. What happens if they get captured, guys? Let's think about that for a second. What are the men that capture them going to do to the women that they have in a prison cell that they have complete control over emotionally and physically? I'm not going to go into details. I think you can deduce it. What do we got next?
Women were oppressed in history, but so were men. It's not
as much as women
now
were.
This is interesting, because if I say, how were women oppressed? You're like, well, it's self-evident, Brian. I shouldn't have to educate you. Yet you've just asked me the same question. You've just asked, how were men oppressed? Shouldn't you know?
No, because that wasn't taught in school.
So isn't that interesting? Male oppression was never taught in school. Female's oppression was.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So who's really oppressed then?
Oh my God, Brian.
If men's grievances throughout history are overlooked, who's the real one that's oppressed? Perhaps you don't even believe men are oppressed.
Don't, to be honest.
You don't?
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of goes along with the last one a little bit. You know what I mean, Ronan? Where it's just like, yeah, men were like sent to go off and die and get, get destroyed, in mentally and physically, and they built things. They take on the dangerous jobs. The idea that men weren't oppressed, men were the ones bearing the brunt of the violence that existed, throughout human history. It's not saying women weren't oppressed too, but the point of the system, the reason the system of gender roles existed was because it allowed each biological sex to embody their God-given nature the best. Men are the ones that can go fight in a war the most efficiently. Women are the ones who can take care of the home and raise children the most efficiently. These are two different roles for two different ways of thinking and then those two different ways of thinking exist in men and they exist in women. So there's nothing wrong with saying, and by the way, equally valuable. The system crumbles if either is missing. But the system cannot crumble, because when the system crumbles, you enter where we are today. And where we are today is divorced families, women not respecting their husbands, children not respecting their fathers. There's no sense of responsibility. It's all basically about how you feel and what we can do to make things easier and things like that. It's like you're being coddled on your mother's lap as an adult. And that's why no one's growing up.
Are you okay, sweetheart?
This whole system was created by women taking the lead and leaving their role as nurturer. And men handing it off and letting themselves get walked all over. Men have been oppressed. And men are currently being oppressed, but only this time by the feminist system that is so biased against them and is breaking them down. Once again, not breaking them down in a way to help them break through boundaries and become tougher, but to make them weak, to make them soft, to make them incapable of taking care of a family. Because ultimately, that's what the globalists want. Ultimately, that's what the powers that be want. Because the harder it is for people to have sex and create children, the better. Because these people believe the world is overpopulated, and that if we don't do something to control the global population, there's going to be famines and wars and all sorts of other things that are going to kill, millions of people. So they're just trying to socially subvert the nation and destroy our mindsets on family. Well, we're not going to let it happen. All right? We're not going to let it. Ronan, are you going to let it happen?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, guys. We're going to get married. We're going to have kids. And you cannot stop us. You cannot stop us. And I've said that many times on here. We will not be deterred by your overpopulation conspiracy theory agenda. We do not subscribe to it. And we won't. Next.
If I find a girl that I want to make my wife, and I find her super attractive.
Your wife. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I would do. I would make her my wife. I would ask her to marry me and then make her my wife.
Good man.
You say you are a feminist. You're 100% a feminist.
That is feminist.
You heard me say that.
Oh,
You
I
heard
make her my wife. Like.
Yeah, because that's what I would do.
It's like I'm an equal human, the woman.
You-
it's not about
you
you
say
wanting to
that-
make her your wife.
Obviously, she would want to be
She
my
has
wife.
her own life. She wants to be your wife too.
Yeah, of course, but she's not
Wants
going
to go
She's
to the club.
What is she
She wants
trying
to
to-
do
she's
her
disagreeing
makeup.
with
She's not going to want to go to
take
clubs.
pictures.
She's not
Yeah,
going to want to
she
go to clubs.
does.
No,
She does.
because here's the thing. That's a non-negotiable for me in marriage.
Okay, well
if,
then,
if I find
good
a
luck.
woman, if there's plenty of women out
Good
there
luck.
that don't want to go to clubs all the time.
Okay, well.
There's plenty of women out there that
Have
don't want to
fun
go to
with that,
clubs
girl.
in tiny little
there's that.
dresses and get hit on by guys all the time.
Yeah, no. This guy sounds to me like he's got his head on straight as far as like the direction that he wants to take his life.
I believe he's a Christian, actually.
Is he a Christian? Oh, okay. What's his name?
I think it's Chase. I think
Chase is his name. Yeah, this is
he kind of
this is
blew up.
good stuff.
He blew up on Twitter a little bit because of that podcast.
Okay. Yeah. This type of energy is exactly what women in the West need. This is what they need to hear. They need strong masculine figures telling them, we don't want this clubbing girl that slept around and has 10 different sexual partners in her past. We don't want that. We want debt-free virgins. That's what we want. We want debt-free virgins that practice their faith, that love God, that love their femininity, that dress modestly, and most importantly, that aren't going to clubs where they're going to get hit on by a bunch of guys while they're dating somebody. Yeah, sorry. You got to be faithful when you're in a relationship, ladies. And that said, there's a lot of women that are on that train, right? There's a lot of women that are on that train. But you know what? There certainly isn't enough. And I have heard that attitude from lots and lots of women. And this guy is bringing on and basically exposing that attitude for what it is. He's exposing that attitude for what it is. Stupid, unreasonable, prideful, selfish, and most importantly, sinful. Sinful. If you're a Catholic and you think any of those things that woman was thinking that she had the right to do, and any of these other women on this podcast thought that they have a right to do while being in a relationship, well, guess what? You don't. You don't have the right to do those things. And you know what? This is the last thing. The arrogance of the statement where she assumed that the man saying, whoever I will make my wife. Like what she made it sound like, oh, he's gonna kidnap her and make her, make him her wife, as if the woman wouldn't want to be his wife. I'm sure there's many more women that would want to be his wife than her husband. Let me just say that. Okay, anyways, is there anything else?
Yeah, it's going to be the last one. This is what we're going to consider your bonus because it's a little bit just funny and ridiculous.
Here we go. This will be good.
I saw this on Hinge. What percentage of men do you think have yachts?
Oh, like, I don't know, like, yeah, pretty low, maybe 9%.
9% of men have
on
yachts.
Hinge?
You think 9% of
world.
men have yachts?
Is that...
Bro. This is what we were talking about with Amber about like the high expectations that so many women have these days in the dating market.
Okay, and how much do you make a year? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many dogs do you want when you're older? Mm-hmm. Okay, and how's your mom life? Like all of these things that I'm like, okay, well, you'll probably find that out if you just had a conversation with him.
There was some study that I saw that says like women are only interested in like the top 10% of men when they're swiping on dating sites. I think they just collected data from that. You can put up the article and you find it. And for men, I think it was like the top, 30 or 40% of women. I don't remember which it said, but yeah, women have unrealistic expectations. A yacht.
She thinks that 9% of men have yachts.
Yeah.
Like what? What kind of where in your mind do you think that is a thing? I don't think if you I don't know what the statistic is, but I bet if you rounded it to the nearest whole number, it would be 0%.
No. It's your top 1% if you got a yacht. Let's just say that. Your top 1% if you got a yacht. And going even further than that, it's like I just think about like the two most populous countries in the world, China and India. And I just like, all the Indians in India are just like cruising 10% of India's population or 9% of India's population just cruising around on their own private yacht. In the water over there. No, it's like there's like most people there are dirt poor. They're in the lowest caste in the caste system. I know they got rid of it, but it still institutionally exists in many ways. And they're called untouchables. They're so poor. It's because you can't touch them. You get sick. It's that bad there. So you're telling me that in the most populous countries, India and China? No. Yeah, no. You don't deserve a yacht. You probably deserve a guy with a Ford or with a Toyota Corolla and a $50K a year salary. And that's probably what you're going to get. And you'd be much happier if you settled for that than waiting on Mr. Perfect, who's never going to come for all of eternity. And I think we're going to end on that note, Ronan. I think that's a fair conclusion.
That is a great conclusion.
Yeah, I think so as well. Well, all right, guys, that's all we got for this episode of Red Top Report. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. And also, do me another favor on YouTube. Be sure to click that notifications button. We need you to click that notifications button so we can let you know when we're dropping new content. Oh, and one more thing. You need to give us your money.
He gave me the $2 bill, and that's enough for me.
And to give us your money, you can go to buymeacoffee.com. You can do a monthly donation for $5 a month. It's called a Joe for Joe. Or you can give us a single donation. And with that said, guys, that's all we got today. God bless.